And live here from DeVos Fieldhouse, Matt Wayne or Mike Coleman on this broadcast for Hope College men's basketball hosting the Brits at Albion. We got senior day here on DeVette Van Wieren Court, and we got that rearing and ready to go here, Mike, so we're going to send it to them. But until we send it over to Darren Deishmars with the PA, we are so glad to be with you here today for this doubleheader on Senior Day. First, we got Hope hosting Albion on the men's side of things, and then we got Alma College visiting Hope on the women's side of things. A couple exciting games.
And it's whiteout day here at the arena, here at the Fieldhouse, I should say, at DeVos, where everyone is given a choice of white with the Hope script across the chest, so it's going to be a great day. And we've got 4 seniors and 1 fifth-year senior for the Hope men. Let's listen to Darren Deishmars.
So we'll send it to Darren right now, and we come back. We'll talk about what's at stake in play for the MIAA tournament next week.
This class is MIAA regular season championship, and they are the 3-time defending MIAA tournament champions, seeking their 4th straight next week. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the senior students. First is student assistant coach Jaleel Williams. Jaleel hails from Kalamazoo, Michigan, and is joined by his mom and dad, Kalima and John Williams. Jaleel will graduate with a degree in physical and health education, and following graduation, he will continue working as a skills trainer and AAU coach, and then student teach in the fall. He then plans to attend graduate school. Jaleel's loyalty and contribution to the program as a player and then as a student assistant has been tremendously impactful, which is shown through the genuine respect he has earned from our players and coaches. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jaleel Williams. Next, Josh Decker. A native of Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, he is joined by his parents, Scott and Susan Decker, along with his sister, Abigail. The 2022-2023 All-MIAA second team member will graduate with a degree in communications. Josh plans to pursue a career in the sports media industry. Josh is a fantastic addition to this team following his sophomore year. The injury bug has challenged and limited him, but every time he steps on the floor, his sharpshooting skills pose a threat. He's an incredible teammate and one who has served as a great example of personal resilience and persistence. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Josh Decker. Next, Zach Hawes. Zach is from Lanesburg, Michigan. He is escorted by his parents, Brad Hawes and Lynn Hawes. Zach will graduate with a communication degree this spring, and he plans to use that degree to pursue a career in collegiate or professional sports communication. Zach's dedication and grit have been incredibly impactful to our championship success during his career at Hope College. His everyday commitment to his role on the team as one of the hardest workers and most dedicated teammates has been a true difference maker. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Zach Hawes. Next, Ben Wagger. Ben is joined by his parents, Ed Wagger and Laura Wagger. Ben is a native of Petoskey, Michigan, and he also is being escorted out by his sister, Hannah. He will graduate as a business major this spring. Following his graduation in May, Ben plans to secure a job as a financial advisor. Ben has made his mark as one of the most accurate perimeter shooters, and his overall improvement since arriving as a freshman has been remarkable. His joy, positive attitude, and team-first commitment has set a standard for his teammates. He has refused to let numerous injuries define him. Rather, he selflessly does whatever he can to help the team win. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ben Wagger. And finally, Gabe Quillen. Gabe is escorted by his parents, Ryan and Leanna Quillen, a 2021 high school state champion from Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Gabe will graduate as a business major in May. Gabe would then like to pursue an overseas basketball opportunity, if possible, or use his degree in the logistics industry. Gabe's improvement and overall career accomplishments are remarkable, placing him as one of the best and most versatile centers ever to wear the orange and blue. Gabe is a two-time All-MIAA recipient and currently ranks 29th all-time in scoring with 1,159 points. He ranks 4th in total rebounds, 7th in block shots, and 9th highest career field goal percentage in Hope College basketball history. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gabe Quillen. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for your Hope College men's basketball seniors, Jaleel Williams, Josh Decker, Zach Hawes, Ben Wagger, and Gabe Quillen. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024-2025 men's basketball seniors.
Tremendous accomplishments from these seniors over the last 4 or 5 seasons, but especially Waggar, Quillen, Decker as guys that have played so many minutes here, and what a storied career Quillen has had especially. So we will miss him especially next season. But Mike, here on this court tonight, as we look prepared for this Hope College Senior Day as they take on the Brits, we got some stuff at stake here for the MIAA tournament.
Yeah, we really do, and what really threw a wrench into things. By the way, thanks everybody for checking in. Hope fans, Albion fans, big game at stake today was the fact that Hope was cruising, had their own fate in their hands with number 3 seed in their grasp when they lost a tough one at Olivet on Wednesday. Now, the scenario is for Hope College, if they win today, they get the number 3 seed. If they lose, and Olivet can pull things off, and even if Olivet can pull things off, then Olivet will win the tiebreaker. So Hope College has to take care of business. And then on the other hand, Albion, it's very simple. Both these teams are making it to the postseason. If Albion wins today, they're going to be the number 5 seed. Now, if they lose and Adrian wins, then Albion will fall to number 6. And we look at the schedule, Matt.
Yeah, so as we look at things around here today, of course, Hope hosting Albion here, Calvin and Trine, and what would have been a massive matchup now just seems like it doesn't really matter in the end of things because the seeding's already been decided for those two. Calvin will be the host site next weekend, the number 1 seed. So go look to see who they take on in that 4-5 matchup, and Trine will look to see who they take on in the 3-6 matchup. But otherwise, that would be a game we would be looking at to see really, you know, those two teams being so much better consistently throughout the MIAA this year.
And really, as you break things down, regardless of Hope makes the number 3 or number 4 seed, they're going to host at home. We just don't know who they're going to play. But it makes a difference. If they're the number 3 seed, they'll potentially, and if they win their first game, they could face Trine. If they're the number 4 seed and they win the first game, they would potentially, they would face Calvin. So you pick your poison. You and I were talking about that before the broadcast.
And I don't know, Mike, who do you want? I mean, point, both these teams are really, truly top 15 teams in the country. I mean, Trine in that game that Hope was able to win by 17 a few weeks ago, you and I looked at each other and we were like, well, they're missing their top scorer. He's healthy now. McNanglo was in foul trouble and sat for the majority of the second half. So that was a game that kind of got away from them, but you would expect a different Trine team to show up in the MIAA tournament. And then you look at Calvin, what have they won, Mike, 17 in a row?
They've won 17 straight. They were 1-6, and I know you won't believe this, but I thought, you know, they're a team that could not run the table, but win the MIAA. They had such a tough non-conference schedule. But as you look at things, you switch things back. This is an Albion team that was favored 5th in the MIAA. Hope was favored 3rd in the prognostications. This is a dangerous ball club. They're without their leading scorer, Cam Mays, after 2 games of the year. And like you said, Matt, before the game, they found a way to reinvent themselves with a lot of different starting lineups and different scenarios for 16th year head coach Jody May.
So Albion, they're 10-14, 5-8 in conference, and they're knotted right now with Adrian at 5-8. Adrian today, they have a 4 p.m. start. They take on Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo has had a pretty tough season. You would expect them to be able to take care of business in that one. And then the nightcap tonight, 7 p.m., Olivet and Alma. So depending on how this game goes, we cannot really know until the end of the night really how the seeds are going to play out. and who Hope is playing on Wednesday?
Well, when all else fails, go to the MIAA.org website, and they'll have all the matchups when they sort it out as well. If we know what's going on for sure next week, before we end the broadcast, we'll let folks know. Go ahead, man.
No, yeah, as we look at this Albion team, though, like we talked about, I mean, they've missed Cam Mays. He really only played 2 games at the beginning of the season. It's kind of been a who's who of who wants the ball and who's going to be able to score. They've been consistently, something you and I have talked about, around that 40 to 43% field goal range for the entirety of the season. So we kind of know who they are and know what to expect. And Hope, I think, offensively, they've kind of been a Jekyll and Hyde as well.
Yeah, they really have. One thing that Albion will give you, like you said, they don't shoot great, but they're consistently average because they're not going to have big dry spells and purges. But as I say that, the last time these two teams played, Albion won on a buzzer beater, and they shot their second best field goal percentage at 53% and their best three-point percentage at 7 of 11 in the game. Will they take that for Albion again to win? We'll see. Hope didn't shoot well on Wednesday, but they've shot 50% in the last 5 games. So the track record shows they just have to show up today.
Yeah, and for Hope on the other end of things, 13-11 this season, 8-5 in conference. They're sitting at that 3 seed, but something we were really hoping for them to come out and be able to do a little bit more. But for now, Mike, let's send it to Darren Dystermars. We'll be back here in a minute.
Please welcome Hope College sophomore, Mr. Kyle Spiegel.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kyle Spiegel.
We're going to skate to one song only.
Starting lineups coming up in just a moment here from PA, Darren Dystermars.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse here in the campus of Hope College for today's MIAA contest between the Britons of Albion College and your Hope College Flying Dutchmen. Here this afternoon's starting lineups. First for the Britons at 1 forward, a 6'5 senior from Ann Arbor, number 14, Marco Lucchesi. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'3 senior from Zeeland, number 2, Eli Schoonville. At 1 forward for the Britons, a 6'4 sophomore from Warren, number 15, Curtis Rhodes. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'7 senior from Harbor Springs, number 44, Ben Wager. Starting at center for the Britons, a 6'4 senior from Detroit, number 32, A.J. Barden. And at center for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'9 senior from Ada, number 33, Gabe Quillen. At 1 guard for the Britons, a 5'11 senior from Dallas, Texas, number 2, B.J. Hunter. And at one guard for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'3" senior from Hazlitt, number 3, Zach Haas. And at the final guard spot for the Britons, a 5'9" sophomore from Detroit, number 11, Dwayne Ray. And at the final guard spot for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'3" senior from Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, number 11, Josh Decker. Albion College is coached by Jody May. Hope College is coached by Greg Mitchell. Your officials this afternoon, Todd Frazier, Dustin Crawford, and Robert King.
Well, there are the starting lineups for Hope College. They've got 4 seniors and a 5th-year senior in Eli Schoonveld. A lot of experience on that Albion roster. Matt Wainers, they have 2 5th-year seniors, 1 senior and 2 sophomores, so a good balance for Jody May. This is a team that beat Hope by 2 points last time, a couple weeks ago at Kresge in Albion.
Right, and something you had said, you know, not necessarily, we don't want to call it bad blood, but we know Quillen and Barton, they're going to want to go back and forth with each other, both such tough players. It's a little bit of a mix-up there on the tip as Schoonveld easily gets it here, and that's Hawes leading things off here for Hope.
Well, to put it in perspective, besides Trine and Calvin, as Wagger hits the downtown 3, wearing the face mask. What injury has Ben Wagger not had this year, or illness or affliction? Good start for the Dutchman.
Love that for the senior right there.
Yes. Yeah, he's just been plagued by injury and beset by other factors. And Hope now comes out in his zone, Matt. We have not seen a Hope defense come out in his zone all year long. They play it in the middle part of the game as Ray dishing right corner to top to Lucchesi. Ray with a leaner got the membership bounce.
It looked kind of like a loose zone there, you know, as Schoonveld made the switch, and then they end up kind of making it man-to-man. There's the corner. Here's Decker, 3-point try. Yeah!
Decker, he was 0 for his last 7 3-pointers. Not today.
Time for the seniors to take their shot, as it's already Hovey that's going to be checking in here. It's the star-studded senior lineup.
Decker with a left knee brace, Wagger with a face mask. The guys that are all banged up got the first points for Hope. They lead 6-2. And for a team that only shot 2 for 17 for 3 on Wednesday, that's a good start as that one circles out. Gabe Quillen clears it to Hawes. 43 career games, the senior from Langsburg High School. Ben Wagger for 3, count it! Santa Maria!
Feeling himself here early, 9-2, Hope leads.
Well, he's got such a practical stroke, and it's very smooth, and he can get into a rhythm as good as anybody. Top 3-point percent shooter last year in the MIAA, and responding on the other end is Curtis Rhodes, the sophomore out of Warren Lincoln.
Yeah, it just makes you think about, Mike, do you remember when he was such a big part of what this offense did last year? And then as the injury bug got him going, Decker, his turn.
You get a 3, and you get a 3. I can't think of a better scenario on senior day for those guys to start out with a couple threes, because that's their bread and butter, Matthew.
And this has this Hope crowd getting going here in DeVos.
12-5 for the Flying Dutchman. Here's Lucchesi trying to battle high off the window. That's a big-time move with the left hand. 5th-year senior. He's worked his way into the starting lineup over the last couple years. I wanted to finish my point from a couple of possessions ago. Albion is the 3rd toughest team to beat under Greg Mitchell as Zach Haas for 3. And that's his strong point in his game, too. And Hope College reigning 3-pointers.
4 3-pointers. What is that? Or is that 5? 5 straight. Decker with 2, Wagger with 2. Hawes has 1, 5 for 5 here so far.
Ray Fireside free throw line. Lucchesi stops, pops, and fills it. I guess nobody's going to miss today.
Yeah. Hey, and you got to be happy if you're an Albion fan, because you've hit every share of your shots so far, so you're staying right here in this.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 to be exact. And the fact that Hope is so red hot, you're still in the game. 15-9 as Parker Hovey comes in. Ben Wagger checks out, and he gets a great round of applause for the senior out of Petoskey High School. Couldn't happen to a better kid. Well, I'm not sure how much we'll see of Ben today, but that's a great start. So these teams have pretty much split the last 11 games. Hope has only won 6. And 15-9 for Greg Mitchell against Albion in his tenure. Wraparound pass down to Hovey. Spin move. Kick out. Eli for 3. Skims off. Rebound by Quillen. Double team is Ray trying to help Barden. Trapped underneath the basket. Kick out with 14 to shoot. Decker, NBA 3. Good look, no go. Contact down low, and I think Hovey was held.
That was Lucchesi. He just couldn't keep Hovey boxed out. Man, Hovey uses his strength so well. Mike, we've talked about him a lot this season, the way his game has developed. But this here's Werman coming in for Hawes now.
Hovey lost 30 pounds from his freshman campaign. He was kind of the 5th wheel in the offense. Well, he's leading the team in scoring in conference games. He misses a puppy down low, rims out Barden. 8.5 rebounds a game, clears a mess. Ray had 4 3-pointers against Hope in the win back in late January. Career high for him. 15-9 our score. Contact down low. That's going to be reaching on Hovey, who thought he was shoved.
Would have been bad if that was Lucchesi's second there, as we get the under 16 timeout. And what a hot start from this Dutch team.
Let's keep it here a second. We'll get a chance to set up a couple of things. This is the 206 all-time meeting between two teams have gone at it forever. As we're looking at the replay, Ben Wagner for the 3-ball, and those never get old. And Josh following up on that one. But if you just joined us, 5 for 5 from three-point land for Hope to start this game, and Albion has managed to stay in it by 4 of 5 shooting. But a lot to play for. I mean, it's one thing, Matt, to know you're going to be in the tournament. We just don't know. There's 4 teams battling for the 3, 4, 5, and 6 seeds before the day's over.
Yeah, there's a lot that's going to shake up. If you're just joining us here, like we talked about in the pregame, Mike, that 1 spot is locked in. Calvin will be the host site for the semis and the championship. The 2 seed locked in. That's Trine University. And then that 3, 4, 5, 6 could be a combination of Hope or Olivet at 3, 4, and at the 5, 6 would be this Albion team or Adrian. So we know who the 6 teams are, just don't know who exactly is going to play each other. So Albion seemingly wants to win this game, and Hope could play him again Wednesday night.
I do know this. These 2 teams will play maybe each other, maybe not on Wednesday, but they're both coming off rough losses. Albion lost to Calvin 76-47 on their senior day, and Hope shot just 37% in a 66-52 loss Wednesday at Olivet.
Yeah, you really don't like to see that loss to Olivet. That's a team that I remember telling you, I was going to fire off a text to you talking about that Olivet team. You know, I liked what they did offensively with those young guys. If it's Richardson, if it was Skipper, as well as who's that guard from Coopersville that we loved?
Yeah, I can't think of his name, but they got a good
Porter Miller.
Yes.
Here's Hovey.
Hovey inside. By the way, good basket by Lucchesi on the other end. As the offensive rebound and the flush with authority by Gabe Quillen. That's a high percentage 2-point shot.
Yeah. Got to see him get going. I know he hasn't been super pleased with the way he's played over the last 5, 6 games, but it just takes one for him, and when he gets confident, he is dynamic.
He had 22 on Wednesday, the most he's had since DePaul game, way back in the non-conference season. Lucchesi for 3, rims out. Good start for Hope. They're shooting 6 of 10, 5 of 7 from deep as Marcus Warman in the game, the junior out of East Lansing. Boy, you take away Quillen's 8 of 14 shooting Wednesday. Hope is a team shot just 29%. Wraparound inside. Quillen goes up strong. And you like that matchup, and Rhodes has to help out on the weak side.
Even better is that pass by Hovey. If you're able to see that again, Barden kind of gambles to enter that passing lane. Hovey goes right around him with the left hand.
And it looks like Michael Ume, the junior out of Macomb, Dakota, is going to check in. He's actually their leading scorer, and he is a physical specimen. Matt, he looks like a linebacker for sure.
Yeah, he looks bad. I mean, these kids right in front of us. Here's Ume is about to check in. Man, Mike, I mean, I don't want to see him barrel down the lane.
Boy, that is a fact. Gabe Quillen knocks down the free throw. Good start for Quillen. Ben Wagner with 6 points and Josh Decker with 6. All the 3 have led the Flying Dutchman early on as Simon Newhouse, the sophomore out of East Grand Rapids, checks in. Hope has not done the job from the free throw line in non-conference. 7th out of 8 teams, just 64%, which could factor in close games come tournament time next week, or today for that matter.
Mike, the surprise of the year for me is all these Charlie Howell minutes have been come on in the second half of the season. Can't say enough about what he's been able to add athletically, defensively, comfortable around the rim, guarding different positions. I mean, he's kind of just a Build-A-Bear type of athlete that you can just put on anybody.
Yeah, he's a Swiss Army knife, and we talked about his physicality. And how about Charlie Howell, right on cue, thanks, CH. Knocked away the attempt of the field goal by Lucchesi. Beautiful block. It'll stay with Albion with 13 to shoot. Stolen. Howell. Track meet on the other end. Flush! The freshman is fired up, and so are the fans here on senior day.
Right on cue. He heard us talking about him.
There is something about Hope College, especially when they've had a tough loss against somebody, rising to the big occasions, and so far so good as we approach the 6-minute mark of the first half with 14 left to play.
And Mike, to be frank with you, it's something about the way that Coach Mitchell gets these teams to play in the end of February and into March.
It's just they have their midseason struggles, their lull. They lost 4 straight before they peeled off 4 in a row before the loss on Wednesday to Olivet. Quillen thought about the 3.
You asked me, would you rather have your road lead to Trine or Calvin? And I said, I just don't know. I just think they're going to play them tough regardless.
Agreed. Marcus Warman in, misses the 3-ball. Justice Mims in as well, the junior out of Rochester, Stony Creek. Rochester Adams, I beg your pardon.
That's Jalen Flanagan checking in, the senior from Troy. He's going to check in here. That's Lucchesi's going to take a breather.
Flanagan had a season-high 11 points in the loss against Calvin on Wednesday when their leading scorer, Ume for Albion, had a season-low too, so he was a nice compliment, even though they got blown out. Streaking is Hooser.
Wow, you folks at home, I really can't say enough about how big Ume looks on the court.
He is. And he is fast, massive. Too. Long arms, athletic. Warman going with a steal and got grabbed from behind. And that foul would be on Curtis Rhodes. Second for Albion, for Rhodes, third for Albion. 7 will get you in the bonus as Mason Brody, who played in the JV game, the freshman out of Utica Eisenhower, will check in. We saw a little bit of him on Wednesday. He's factored in more in conference games for Jody May.
When you look at the history here for Albion this year, it's kind of just been a who's who of different mixes and matches of guys that have played offensively for them. I mean, they've really gone 12, 13 different guys throughout the season.
They really have. They're deep, if not productive. They average 70 points a game. Leaner off the window, no. Fight for the rebound, and you see Ume and Newhouse going at it. And they're okay. They're battling. Boy, I hate to be in the middle of that scrum fighting for the rebound.
You ever been in one of those, Mike?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Did you probably win it? In practice because they didn't play much. You have no idea.
You should see the other guy.
Exactly. He's doing okay. In the corner is King. He brings it out. We saw him last year. He had snippets of really good play against Hope. Hope played Albion back-to-back in the last game of the season last year in the first game of the tournament. And a foul is making his move down low is Hooser. We got a tough reach in, and that's going to go against Parker Hovey. Second on Hovey, and that alerts the bench. Schoonville's going to check in, and that's a big one, Matt Weiner.
Yeah, don't want to see that when he starts getting foul trouble. You're going to need him for a lot here today.
He has both Hope fouls.
Because he's somebody, when he's not in foul trouble, he might play 30 to 35 minutes.
Without question. Oh, mad dive. Howell on the court and Newhouse. And getting the worst of that one is Mason Brody.
And Mike, you and I, we've called so many games this year. I think the thing that stands out when we're able to call multiple games in the MIAA is the physicality of these teams. You look back at that Calvin Hope game, you look back at that Trine Hope game. The physicality between these teams in this conference is great. And in comparison to when we're watching WEAC basketball, where the shooting percentages are typically higher, you got a little bit more length and a few more guys that are able to shoot. CCIW teams shoot it a little bit better than MIAA teams. But I think that's what marks this conference, is that physicality. That's a great
point, and that's what creates upsets during the season because you out-physical the other team. Great point.
And it's also maybe the thing that makes it harder for some of these teams to make a deep run. That Trine team last year, that was so complete, they could score 3, 4, 5 different ways, and they had just 2 amazing guards in the Garland brothers.
And that's what makes it more amazing that we beat them in the MIAA tournament final. In fact, the last 2 years, Hope will get the basketball here, leading 20-11. In the last 2 years, Hope has beat 2 ranked teams in Calvin and Trine in the MIAA tournament final to get to the national scene. We'll have more of that. Man, I'll take our first break of the day. 11:48 left. Hope up by 9. Big game at stake here on the Hope Sports Network.
Yeah, my name is Travis Williams. I'm the CEO of the ODC Network. I graduated from Hope in 1998. I studied biology, and then I also played football. In order to be successful, people really need more than just the academic experience, but they need people to come alongside them and help them, coach them, mentor them. I find that Hope College has just been one of the best examples of being able to do that anywhere.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to help share Hope stories of transformational impact.
Hope students are challenged to dig deeper. They're challenged to find their calling and shape their future. They're taught to empower their talents, chase their dreams, and encouraged to make a difference. The Hope student body is ready to change the world.
Back here at DeVos, Mike Coleman and Matt Wayne are here on this call. 20-11 is the Hope lead. And Mike, here so far, it's just looked like when we were talking about that physicality, we're looking at 2 teams that are fighting and clawing for all that they can, where some of that outside shooting is starting to quiet itself down. And we're finding the real identity of these 2 teams come out.
Well, it had to be honest with you. The Hope just 2 for their last 8. They're starting the game 5 for 5, all 3-pointers as Newhouse. Boy, Quillen went down hard as he's battling A.J. Barden. And we saw a whole lot of that a couple weeks ago. I think Quillen got hit in the nose. He might be bleeding. He's bleeding, I think. Hard to tell.
You can tell he's wincing a little bit. I think he's trying to get something out of his eyes, but he's in there for right now, and he's going to stay.
Yeah, Schoonville working hard on King, is kicking it out topside over to Hooser. Leaner pongs off. Quillen fighting for the rebound. Put back in the land of the Giants is Brody. And Quillen he's still feeling his nose, trying to check the inventory. 9-point lead for Hope. Greg Mitchell screaming for a hold.
Yeah, Barden was fronting him, but he kind of looked like he was grabbing his shoulders there.
Mims triple try, and we've got an over and no, check that. We've got a defensive foul. Who'd they call that on?
They're going to call that on Flanagan. So they got Flanagan, Mike. I mean, that looked like a bailout. I thought that was going to be on Quillen for sure.
I did too, and Newhouse was kind of lurking by the grassy knoll as well. Yeah, speaking of, Newhouse gets it at the left elbow.
Is that a JFK?
It is. It is.
Reference?
It is.
I was not thinking that I had a JFK reference here today.
A.J. Barden.
Have you been down there? You been to see the grassy knoll?
I have not. I've been to Dallas. I went there for the Cotton Bowl when my Badgers played Western Michigan a few years ago. That was a good day. Decker back in the game. He had 2 early 3-pointers. He'll try a litmus test for 3. Why not? Litmus test. Positive.
And that one hurts for Albion. They're leading by 12 because you can kind of feel Hope to have a chance to pull this away, or Albion really needs a bucket.
Boy, 25-13, the biggest lead of the day. Barden top of the key, rare air for him. Working his way down low. Schoonville just working so hard. Rejected. Going up is Flanagan. Coming down with the basketball is Hope on the rejection by Schoonville. No look inside. Quillen with travel. And he knew it too. He was indecisive on whether to pass it or take it.
Right, and a sweet no-look pass there by Decker. But Mike, right now, if you're an Albion Brits fan, I mean, they just look, they don't really know what they want to do. Yeah, they're really confused, and huge credit to that defense right now by Schoonveld and Howell especially.
Yep, they're doing the dirty work down low for sure.
But I think they just don't know who's going to score right now.
Dwayne Ray, top of the key, fine player out of North Farmington High School. Spin move inside, Lucchesi back in over to Barden. who's been quiet so far, hasn't tried a field goal. Good defense by Howell, rejected, picked up by Quillen. Hope on the run.
Mike, that's why he's earned so many minutes. I mean, that is a bigger, stronger dude that he just stayed with perfectly on that possession.
Warman working in the middle, kicks it out over to Quillen. He'll try the rainbow. Yes. You know, he's got a great three-point shot. And last couple of years, it's really proved itself. Biggest lead of the day, 28-13. Boy, you know, shooting's contagious. Just like hitting in baseball is contagious. You see a shot go down, you can just see the body language for Josh Decker after hitting 3 threes. It's just, he's just buoyed right up.
And it just gives your team confidence. It pulls the best out of everybody else. Makes them feel like if I shoot, mine's going to fall.
They were just 2 of 17 on Wednesday. Ray, so quick, skins off. Long arm Quillen, good rebound.
And Mike, not to mention, I mean, I was talking to that with a few players. I know when my coaching mind kind of comes out, say, can you be a guy that when your team, when things aren't going, you're not hitting shots, can you be the guy that wants it? And there's Schoonbelt.
Backdoor feed, big to Schoonbelt. And pretty plays by Hope College as everybody getting that piece of the pie right now.
Coach May right there. He's going to take a timeout, talk things over as we see over there in his huddle, and just talk about guys not getting back in the right position, getting kind of beat so hard on those screens, and Hope's just doing a great job getting them out of position.
And that's not Albion. They're one of those physical teams in the MIAA. They don't get beat back down the court. They're the ones that beat you down the court. And he's giving his team an earful.
Yeah, what he kept saying in that huddle right now over there, saying, talk through it, communicate through everything. One of the most frustrating things I'll say as a coach is when you see your team just isn't communicating through screens well, they're not talking through their responsibilities, and that's how you get left behind for easy baskets.
Well, when we get a second, we'll try and get some updates on games that are going on around the MIAA. Probably none more exciting, even though the conference champion has been chosen already, the Calvin University Knights, but they're taking on Trine in a big matchup. And 2 teams, I think both would have an at-large bid.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. You know, you would figure Calvin winning, was that 17 in a row for them? 17. And at 18-6, and then Trine at 21-3. You got to figure both those teams are getting in the tournament no matter what with the kind of resumes. And Calvin played one of the hardest non-conference schedules in the whole country.
Second in the nation. There's a website that tracks it logistically, and they have the second toughest.
It is with that update. It's Calvin up 20-6 against Trine right now.
And that is in Grand Rapids today, if I'm not mistaken. Barden with a nice move, circles the drain and falls. Thanks for the update, Matt Weiner. And here, it's 30-15. And that was a big-time run by Hope. 8-0 run before that basket by Barden, and Barden must have been motivated. Good play. Heads up play by Barden. And let's take a timeout. We'll catch our breath. 7:47 left in this first half. Hope has doubled up Albion 30-15 on the Hope Sports Network.
30-second timeout.
Holland BPW is proud to support Hope Athletics and commitment to energy efficiency. It's easy for Holland BPW electric customers to get started with Home Energy 101 at hollandenergyfund.com. With Home Energy 101, learn the best ways to maximize efficiency and save on your utility bills. You also get a kit of energy-saving supplies valued at up to $300. Get started at hollandenergyfund.com today.
Back with Matt Weiner, I'm Mike Coleman. And Matt, one thing that we noticed in the timeout, when Hope has 7 assists to 11 made baskets, you know they're moving the ball well, because that has not been a strong point this year at times for this offense.
Absolutely, and you look at the stat sheet now, I mean, Hope has just about dominated every facet of the game at this point, shooting 61% from the field, 64% from 3. Huge recipe for success. Here's Mims.
That'll get the job done, and that'll get the job done too. The double clutch by Mims. Great hang time, draws contact, and that's going to be the 6th Albion foul, and that is going to be, I didn't catch who the foul was on, Matthew. In any event, 16 fouls. Justice Mims at the line for a team, like we said, has not shut the ball well from the free throw line. Mims on the year, 74%.
And it also looks like Kyle Blau checked in there at the break. So he's in for Quillen now, giving him some rest.
He's had some good spot minutes as a freshman out of Boulder, Colorado. Mims does his job, gets on the board.
Got that zoom in on Mims' shoes. Can you even see them? Look how bright those
Sure
are.
can. It's hard to miss those. I can see those from Hamilton. 32-15. Great first half of the Dutchman. And another turnover by Albion, just completely disjointed. There's 6 of the afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. And they're just getting different guys in there as well, as that's, you know, who that might be.
Oh, Beck Willems is number 42 out of Goshen, Indiana. Inside to Howe, stolen away. Both teams don't turn the ball over. They're both tied for third at 14 per game. Here's B.J. Hunter. Over to Ray, push pass in the corner to Willems. Not a huge three-point shooter, but he's got some muscle down low as he kicks it out, and we got a foul inside.
And once again, Mike, we were talking about it earlier in the game. Hope's kind of mixing in and out of a 2-3 with a man.
Yes.
It's kind of a matchup-dependent zone, it looks like, as Quillen comes back in for Blount.
Which can be problematic. By the way, the foul on Schoonveld, which can be problematic when you're the offense not figuring out where you're going to go. Lucchesi with the leaner, no good. Barton working down low, high out the window. No, and Warman goes down the guard up between the big man to pull it down. 3, missing. It's going to stay with Hope off Barton. Warman yet to find the touch so far today. Good balanced scoring, though, by the Dutchman. 8 have scored. That's a good start, Matt. Spreading the wealth.
Yeah, a lot of different people touch the basketball so far here for Hope. Here's Howell trying to go to work on Barden. Up and under. Yeah.
Boy, the fingertip roll, full extension. Freshman working on the 5th-year senior, schooling the elder.
He just keeps getting better right before our very eyes.
He's averaged, since he's started, he's averaged over 5 points a game and 3 rebounds. It's been a nice shakeup. We started taking Mims off the bench. Too strong on the line drive. Rebound Willems. Now you can start seeing this game getting really, I wouldn't say chippy, but the physicality is really intensified.
And I think what kind of plays into that, Mike, is just seeing that, like you said, when you talk about Albion being disjointed, I mean, they just have a different person be ball dominant on every possession. So I think it's just throwing off the rhythm of the game. It's kind of make them force feed the ball into the basket. Not really, it's just chaotic.
Well, you know, I saw the stream at Albion a couple weeks ago, and Ray was the point guard, but it's been point guard bar committee so far in this game, which I'm not quite sure about. We haven't seen a lot of Curtis Rhodes. He's one of the best three-point shooters.
Or Ume. Ume came in for about 4 minutes and came right out.
Yeah, he did. Holbrook on the offense. Newhouse at the near elbow. Over to Mims. Offensive foul. Wow, Quillen with the offense. Oh, who's that? Oh,
no,
it's
that's
Josh Decker.
He was a little handsy. He came around a screen and kind of grabbed his arm.
First on Decker, 5th on Hope.
That's Hawes checking in now for Werman. See, I'm sure he's getting the green light to shoot another 3.
Yeah, he's certainly capable, that's for sure. Schoonveld gets a breather as well. As Ray now at the top of the key. Over to Lucchesi with 6 points. As they swing it around. Hope playing that loose man. Good move by Ray. Such a quick off the first dribble as Haas stayed with him. 6 to shoot. Lucchesi, 8-footer, money. Nice shot.
I like his game, you know. Plays a little bit like, was that Gary Anderson who played for the Spurs for all those years? Oh, shoot, I forget his first name, but they called him Slow-Mo. You know,
yeah,
he liked to move around screens. He was but he had a really nice shot.
Here's Mims down low. Quillen, offensive rebound. Kick out to Hawes. No good. Offensive rebound by Newhouse. Presence of mind to kick it out in the backcourt.
Hustle by Newhouse.
By the way, Quillen, top 5 in all-time Hope College rebounding with an offensive rebounding department, and 2nd all-time in total rebounds. Good move down low. Contact, late call as B.J. Hunter made the move. Who are they going to call it on? It's going to be on Haas.
Hovey once again with 2 fouls as he's going to check in with Ume on the other side.
Speaking of, Albion will go to the line. Nobody goes line more in the MIAA per game, 22.5, than the Albion Britons do. And back to your point on Lucchesi, he was more of a perimeter guy, even though he's a forward when he first started. And now he's really taking his game inside. And we've got Parker Hovey back in. He's going to come in with 2 fouls. Hope up by 16. The biggest lead. Interesting strategery with 4:29 left.
Got to hope we can get to the end of the half without him getting a third. So you're going to need him a lot in the second half, especially if Albion starts coming up with their second half comeback.
Albion shooting 40%, 1 of 4 from deep. Hope 52%, 7 of 13 from deep. Like Matt said, Hope's cooled off a little bit, but they've managed to keep Albion off their feet. Decker thought about the 28-foot 3 ball. Backdoor cut inside to Haas, and we had a travel call far side. Good call. I like what Decker tried to do on the Haas cut, just too many steps. Warman back in. Mims with a breather. Well, a good start by the Flying Dutchman. They hit their first 5 shots, all 3-pointers. I don't think I've ever seen that before. In fact, I know I've never seen that before. Called a few games.
Just such a hot start here on the court, 15-9 at the very beginning. The air ball shot there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a lob to Ume or an air ball by Hunter, but in any event, Hope controls. Boy, you'd love a nice, strong last 4 minutes of the first half. Haas goes.
Holy.
Zach Haas saving it for senior day. Mackenzie McMahon.
You're gonna want to cut that. Let's cut that one. Holy
that's getting
crap.
cut all right. That's getting bronzed. Quillen with the swat away. He's going to get caught with the reach in.
We look around the crowd, and that's Clayton Dykehouse in the first row going, what did I just see?
Is Clayton Dykehouse here? Oh, he is. Oh, that's beautiful. Clayton Dykehouse.
You see the replay.
Oh my goodness, Zach Haas. You saved your career play for your last regular season play. Let's see it again. And he took off halfway down the lane.
Man, I didn't know he had that in his bag, man.
I didn't either. 3 different angles, thanks to our fine broadcast crew. I'm going to need a nap after that one.
Yeah, we're going to cut that one up, send it to ESPN. Hope College up 17, Mike, here with 3:27 to play. And it has been all Hope so far.
Looking for a little momentum into the tournament. If Hope wins this game today, they will finish with the number 3 seed, and they will play the number 6 seed. So if Hope wins, Albion loses, and Adrian wins tonight, we're going to face Albion once again.
I can't stop laughing.
I know.
Backups on the bench.
They are just digging it.
They can't believe it. They just can't believe that dunk.
Well, everybody's mouth is open.
Coach Mitchell.
Look at Sam Carlson. He's still chirping at Haas.
Coach Mitchell just shoved him. He was like, "Are you kidding me, man?"
Well, they come from the same high school, so maybe it was in the water. They got good well water at Langsburg. So here's Michael Ume at the line, the junior. Kind of took over as the leading scorer, having a breakout season. Ume, the free throw is off the mark, and he had a big game. How about 25 points and 18 rebounds, both career highs against Huntington back in late December. That kind of shows you what his jib is made of.
What he's capable of and how good he is. I mean, when he has the ball and he feels like going to the basket, it's also like you had said, Jekyll and Hyde with him. You know, he shows up some games, other games can kind of be tough for him to get comfortable.
Oh yeah, he was hamstrung against Calvin, just 2 points, tough shooting. Boy, look at that.
And Mike, I'll tell you what, in a game where Hope is leading by 16, the stat that comes out to me, Albion just 1 of 4 from three-point land. Hope 7 of 13.
Yeah, that'll do it. And Albion only averages 17 a game, so they'll sometimes Jody May, if they're not hitting, he'll shut that down completely. Parker Hovey out. They're going to keep Haas and Warman still chatting about, I don't know, maybe his ferocious dunk about 2 minutes ago. Or national politics, who knows. Quillen misses. Hope of control, trying to close out strong. Ray held in check, just 2 points in the first half. He's a dangerous three-point shooter for Albion. Beck Willens in the game over to Lucchesi as they swing it around, trying to feed down low Ume. Decker working hard on a much bigger frame of Willems. 10 to shoot. Hunter, good backdoor cut, and Ume rolls one home. Nice play. Little shot of encouragement and a hand clap by Jody May. I said it was his 17th year. It's actually his 16th year. I apologize for that. Quillen deep. Looking for Schoonville. Picks him up between the circles. Haas had the open look. Tried to feed Quillen down low. Got the putback, and he lays it up and in. Great play by Haas. He was quick on that loose basketball. Give him credit.
And he's got 7 here today. It felt like the biggest 7 points we've ever seen.
That might be a career high for him. We'll check that at halftime. We'll put research development on it. Decker for 3. Why not? That's the Josh Decker from his sophomore season at King College. Second team all MIAA. Just doesn't think about a shot, just nails it.
Yeah, and that's what you love to see from him. I mean, somebody that when he's really comfortable, we see what Coach May is saying over here to Michael Ume. But what you love to see from him is confidence. Yes. I feel like so much can be found out about Josh in that first 5 to 7 minutes of the game, because if he gets going, then you're like, we can't take him out. He's hot as a $2 pistol.
Right.
But when he's starting to look like he's not really sure, he's hesitating a little bit, it takes a little bit for him to get going, and kind of tells the story of what that's going to be for him.
And to be fair, to your point, Matt, really the entire MIAA schedule, he had an ankle injury. He's wearing a knee brace. He's been beset by some things, maybe starting to feel strong and confident. When you're back 100% with your legs, your shot's going to definitely be better. Hope 41, Albion 22, coming off a season low 47 points was Albion in the loss on Wednesday. They did not shoot well. Just 30% and 14 from 3, so the three-point woes continue for Albion. Lob pass over to Ray. That's a good matchup. Ray, the sophomore, against Warman, the junior. That one rolls off. Weak side rebound by Schoonville. He's got 3 boards.
I'll tell you, off the bench, Willems has played a lot here in the last 10 years. Kind of had Ume has been on the bench. Flanagan's come in and out.
Quillen picks it up with Barden on him. Howell trying to battle down low. It's going up, muscles it up. That's that rangy strength by Howell.
Yeah, it's funny with him. I mean, he doesn't look that much more demanding at 6'5", 205 pounds, but somebody that for some reason he's just so comfortable when he squares up his.
Relaxed.
Yeah, he looks relaxed, and he can just go up and right through everybody.
Ray trying to square up a 3. Hope keeping the interior pretty much out of Albion's jurisdiction at the moment. Ray up with a nice move. No good, and Schoonville goes up with Quillen. Hope shooting 59%. They shot over 50% in 4 out of the last 5 games. Quillen for 3. Offside iron. Not this time. Inside a minute left. Albion like you get a basket and a stop, maybe a little 4-point run before we close out the first half. They're in real danger coming into the clubhouse. Lucchesi tipped away. Warman turnover. Good hands by Marcus. And Hope can settle for the last shot.
Mark is a game where he has really hardly got going, just with 2 points offensively. Normally, you know, he's around that 11-12 mark. And he's finding ways to impact the game, because it's just been a host of a bunch of different Dutchmen here, with their largest lead of the half at 21 right now, Mike.
Yeah, he's kept Ray out board. He's got 2 steals, 2 assists, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Warman settles for the 3, and Warman having a tough slog, 0 for 3 from three-point land, but Hope College in command at halftime, 43-22, and before we take a break, Matt, looking at the numbers, what do you like him so far?
I mean, the story of this has been, to me, as these seniors, the way they start out the game, and just a host of so many different players. I mean, Hope is shooting so efficiently, 57% from the field, 50% from 3 now. and it's just been, I mean, their best offensive effort I've seen in a while. Like I said, I mean, it's so many of those senior, like I said, Wagar came in, hit a couple threes, Decker's hit 3, and Hawes with 7 points. I mean, it's just really impressive what those 3 especially have added as 3 people that are normally not the first ones to touch the ball.
Absolutely. On senior day, the seniors start. Well, 8 3-pointers will win a ball game or 2. Hope 8 of 16. They're winning the rebounding battle, and bench has come up solid for Hope with 10 off the bench. And points in the paint, they're even, which the only reason I mentioned that is I talked about that for a couple minutes ago. It seems like Hope is dominating the paint.
Yeah, it's felt like it, and that hasn't really been Quillen so much as just if it's Blauk or if it's Howell or Schoonveld. I mean, they've just been really good down there.
Josh Decker, 12 points to lead the Flying Dutchman in this first half. Marco Lucchesi with 8 points to lead Albion. So there we go, 55% shooting to 38%. And Hope College with a 43-22 lead, their largest lead here at halftime. Matt, we'll take a break. When we come back, and then we'll go over some more numbers and see what's going on in the MIAA right here on the Hope Sports Network.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing? Your title agency matters, and you have a choice. Lighthouse Title started in Holland, Michigan more than 20 years ago and has grown to over 45 locations. We are proud to be local in these communities. Visit Lighthouse Title for more information and use our online widget Louis the Lightkeeper to chat with someone today about how we can help you close on your new home. Hope College is where academic greatness and a vibrant Christian tradition give students a foundation to pursue their passions and chase their life's calling. Hope ranks near the top nationally for undergraduate research, innovation, and value. Hope College is preparing students for a life of leadership and service. Learn more at hope.edu.
Sports, like healthcare, requires commitment, teamwork, and excellence. That's why Hope College selected Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics to provide athletic training and physical therapy for all Hope College athletes. Get the care you deserve. Trust the team that exceeds expectations. The Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics Sports Medicine Collaborative.
Cancer, we're coming for you. Parkinson's, your days are numbered. Alzheimer's, we're zeroed in on you too. Because at Van Andel Institute, the world's best minds are working relentlessly to eradicate these diseases forever. By advancing the boldest innovations, achieving breakthroughs, and transforming lives. Because the most powerful way to fight diseases, never stop fighting. Van Andel Institute, innovation unleashed.
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from a world-class employer. Now's the time to join Team Gentex.
My name's Emma Duttmers, and I'm a communications major, and then I'm minoring in environmental studies. I play soccer. The first soccer game of my junior year, I tore my ACL. Our athletic trainer, Annie, was there for me right when it happened, and she was there for me literally every step of the way. That was definitely a huge growing opportunity for me, and it was really hard, but it really pushed me to be a leader with more of my voice because I couldn't lead by example on the field. It definitely made me take a step back and realize how much there is to be grateful for.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to share hope stories of transformational impact.
Van Andel Institute, we're in a race, a relentless competition to get ahead of the diseases that affect our world. Cancer, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. We are at the forefront of research and discovery. Our global collaborations are a catalyst for big breakthroughs so that we can make the greatest impact on the health of current and future generations. Because in the race to prevent and cure some of the most insidious diseases, victory is the only option. Van Andel Institute, Innovation Unleashed.
you got a few, we got a slew. We tryna do what they said that we couldn't do. Oh yeah, I ain't living with regrets. Ain't no limits, ain't no rest. They want money, power, respect. I want more, wanna be blessed. We want the legacy. We got the hope and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory. We want the blessing. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. The glory. The glory. You know I do it for the glory. The glory. When I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory. For the real, I know how they used to feel. Now I'm here up in the field, making these moves, making these deals. I made something out of nothing. I ain't bluffing, no discussion. Look at the numbers, I've been hustling. Little rough around the edges, still I made it though. Still I just been laying low. Man, I just feel grateful though. I know where I come from, man, I ain't alone. Yeah, and I feel so blessed, too blessed to be stressed. And I'm with the day unos, they don't ride to the death. We got the legacy, we got the hope, and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory, we want the glory. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. The glory. The glory. You know I do it for the glory. The glory. When I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory.
In our popular mythology, revolutions happen in Silicon Valley, right? But no, the revolution happened here.
I think we are starting a revolution. It's coming from a very strong sense of who we are.
It's immediately creating a multi-generational community.
There's something magical happens when you shift from being a payer to being a giver.
Hope Forward has 58 students, I think, today-ish. You know, when we started in '94, we had 47. It's doable. What they're trying to do is doable. Getting people to believe early on is the hardest part.
It has given people a sense of belonging to a cause greater than themselves.
This can happen. This is possible, and we need each of you to be brand ambassadors for this initiative.
We're all aware of the crisis in American education. There are other crises as well that I think are linked to it. The second is the crisis facing our young people, the mental health crisis. And the third crisis is the crisis in our church. And when I look at what is happening here at this school, in this community, I see it as not just addressing the first of those crises, but all three of them.
The students are incredible, and the idea is incredible. Why not 30 years from now, this is the norm?
I've said this a million times, but who better than a place called Hope to run toward things that to the world look hopeless?
My name's Emma Duttmers, and I'm a communications major, and then I'm minoring in environmental studies. I play soccer. The first soccer game of my junior year, I tore my ACL. Our athletic trainer, Annie, was there for me right when it happened, and she was there for me literally every step of the way. That was definitely a huge growing opportunity for me, and it was really hard, but it really pushed me to be a leader with more of my voice because I couldn't lead by example on the field. It definitely made me take a step back and realize how much there is to be grateful for.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to share hope stories of transformational impact.
Back here at DeVos, Matt Wainer, Mike Coleman. Hey, we got second half action here, 43-22. That's the Hope College lead.
And that in a nutshell, if Hope wins this one, they automatically clinch the number 3 seed, regardless of what Olivet's doing later on as they play tonight at 7 o'clock. Thank you, Matt Wainer. Welcome back, everybody. Hope with their biggest lead at halftime as Ray stops, pops, misses, and Schoonville goes sky high.
And Mike, we did get word from Alan Babbitt that regardless if it's a 3 seed versus a 6 seed or a 4 against 5, we will be back here on this call 7 p.m. on Wednesday night for some more Hope basketball.
That is a fact. We just don't know who we are going to play. Josh Decker weaving in, cut off mid-block. Parker Hovey, a slow first half, just due in part to the fact that he got into early foul trouble. Inside, and Quillen, who's got 8 points and another assist. And that is 9 assists on 17 made baskets.
He got that mismatch there. Barden kind of came up, and then he was able to be on Lucchesi, and that's an easy bucket for him.
I'm not sure if Barden has more success fronting Quillen or trailing him. Barden, 3-ball, that's not his forte, and you'll take that if you're Greg Mitchell.
He definitely likes to front him to interrupt that passing lane, but that gamble hasn't worked out for him too much today.
Hovey, shovel pass in the corner. Missed by Hawes, but a pretty feed. Nice setup. Hope for the first basket of the second half. Hunter reels and knocks one down. Nice touch. Had a head of steam from the baseline. It's the same starting check. It's not Hawes is starting the second half with Decker.
Hawes did start the game. It was the miss was Hovey is in now for Wagar, who started the game.
Ben Wagar had a face mask, and we weren't anticipating any play in action. He got 2 quick 3-pointers. He's out for the day, I'm sure. How about Zach Hawes? That is a career high for Zach Hawes. 10 points. First time that young man's been in double figures as he drains the triple from the corner.
And what an awesome way to finish out your senior season. I mean, he's somebody that has come in, played minutes sparingly throughout his sophomore, junior, senior campaign. And this year to be able to finish out on that high note, it's a hats off to him, especially here celebrating. And how about one of the best dunks we've seen in several seasons?
That brought the house down. Hovey tried to save it in the arms of Ray. Albion trying to move it. Hunter, double clutch high up the window. And Hunter took the worst of it down low. Boy, when you lose it down low and you've got action underneath the basket, that's dangerous, getting stepped on.
And Mike, it made me think about some of the best dunks I've seen here in DeVos Fields. That's what somebody texted me at halftime. Blaine Wiersbicky said, Matt, I think that's the best dunk I've seen here on this court. I mean, I think about some Harrison Blackledge had, Colton Overway, but Colton Overway, what was that, 15 years ago?
Yeah, that was a little bit before my time. I'm 11 years in calling Hope games, but I know my old broadcast partner Casey Rutledge talking about Colton Overway. And
those were some really good teams there between like 2006, 2011, there's some really good teams in there.
Yeah, Brock Benson, like you said, Harrison Blackledge. I'm trying to think of a guard that made so much of an impact as far as...
Yeah.
I could see Dante Hawkins. He was 5'11". I'm not sure if he ever had a dunk that I saw, but Haas going up with a razzle and a dazzle. Boy, he has a beautiful burst of speed, does he not?
He just beat his guy right off the dribble, no problem.
Wow. When you give a guy a chance to air it out, Matt, you never know what's going to happen. Beautiful move by Hunter as he put Decker in a spin cycle.
And Mike, to take your attention off the court here, I'm really impressed right here. Coach May having a conversation with Curtis Rhodes right in front of us. And he's just kind of having a heart-to-heart with him about the things that he's got to do. Rhodes just really frustrated with the way his play has been. And May talking about the things he's got to get better at here in the second half.
Yeah, a lot of respect. Jody May, I think he's the elder as far as head coaches in the MIAA. Greg Mitchell is second. And how about Zach Haas with another beautiful move to the basket? Oh, Schoonveld with a man's rebound. He just clawed it, brought it down. Quick lead to Hovey as they work the weave, faking the weave. 3 black jerseys on Hovey. Open look Quillen. Does he try the rainbow? Good look short. Offensive rebound by Hovey. Hammer down low, and Parker Hovey gets rewarded for working hard.
They're going to get that on Flanagan. I thought it was on Barden.
I did too.
But that's going to be Flanagan's second. I thought it would have been on his way up.
He had a couple black jerseys down there that could have influenced that. But Parker Hovey, you know, one thing I've liked about his game, Matt, he's really improved his free throw shooting. He was he's 75% coming in to this game as he missed the first one. He was only 56% last year. For a guy who shoots free throws in volume, that's huge.
Yeah, it is. And Hovey taking on such a bigger role this year, it's felt like he's been just as important as anybody here in the season. And I'm real curious to see at the end of the season where some of the honors end up for the all-MIAA first and second team, to see which Hope players will be in that. Last year, obviously, Quillen was honored, but hope to see if maybe Hovey will be in that mix here for Hope as well.
I would think he would. Decker from way downtown, chased down by Warman. I like the fact that he's checking it out. I mean, if he's feeling the touch, Decker 4 of 6 from 3.
I'm curious also to see who's going to end up being MIAA Player of the Year. You and I talk about if it's Drew Moore, if it's Ekegeze. It feels like it's going to lean toward Ekegeze. With them now, I mean, what are they up on Trine at this point? They've been dominant.
Well, 19:44 remaining in the second half. Calvin is dominating Trine, 38-17. Calvin shooting 55%. Ekegeze with 9 points. Drew Moore had one of his toughest games of the year with 1 point, 0 of 5 shooting.
So you got to think, I mean, if Calvin ends up finishing that game out, finishing MIAA regular season undefeated, who else can you give that to than Ekegeze?
Absolutely. And
you could also make a statement for Vernado, but I mean, Ekegeze was kind of the straw that stirred the drink there for them.
Fifth-year senior, preseason All-American, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and Vernardo's going to have his shots. He's only sophomore or a junior, but we're talking about Drew Moore for folks who don't know, the fine sophomore out of Forest Hills Central, I believe, or Forest Hills Northern, leading scorer in the MIAA, had a high ankle sprain, did not face Hope as when Hope beat Trine last time, and he's just having a tough game today. Even the great ones struggle on occasion. But trying to be ready for the tournament, mark my words.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna bat an eye about a 20-point loss here, because they will be back. I mean, expectedly they got to take care of business in the semi, but they will look to be able to see Calvin once again.
Well, if this game started right now, Matthew, you'd have a Hope of the number 3 seed and Albion with a loss. And if Adrian can take care of business against Kalamazoo today, Adrian would take the number 5 seed. And guess what? We'd see the Albion Britons again. And I'm not sure if I'm too excited about a matchup like that after maybe getting your clock clean 5 days previously.
Yeah, I mean, but we have seen crazier things happen. I've seen Trace McGrady score 26 in the last 3 minutes of a game. So I think we got to see how things play out here.
Parker Hovey splits the pair, rebound by Barden. Barden's been a non-factor offensively, just 2 points. And the leading scorers, other than Lucchesi, have really been shut out of this game for the most part.
Nonetheless, you and I could be having deja vu when we wake up Wednesday morning saying we're at DeVos Fieldhouse again, hosting a Hope Albion game on that big Quillen block.
It could happen. And Quillen with a nice rejection. Boy, B.J. Hunter, he is fearless to the rim. I like his game. For Albion, the senior out of Little Elm High School, Dallas, Texas, made his way to South Central Michigan.
I do too. You know, for somebody that's a little bit undersized, he attacks with a lot of veracity.
Yep.
Reminds me of a little bit of that Tracy Edmond kind of pairing that Olivet had. That was 2018-19 season for him.
How'd you remember that year?
That would have been I had just graduated and was watching Jason Beckman, of course, with Hope, and
great matchups.
That would have been Beckman's senior year. But that Olivet team was memorable because they had that Oregon kickback and Trevor Manuel, as well as
Trevor
Edmond.
Manuel.
Yep, and they had one other guy too that was a big scorer, but Hope had that Beckman and Dante Hawkins duo.
Yeah,
I might be thinking about 17-18.
Close enough, because that was one of the best backcourt duos in Hope College history. Charlie Howell for 2. He chased down the offensive rebound and got his reward. All Hope, 56-27. They have outscored Albion.
Yeah, Olivet was early on the transfer portal game there.
Oh, my gosh.
About 5 years too early. But they were a couple of seasons where they were getting a lot of good kickbacks from D1 schools.
Hunter with a little push shot. Yeah, when Olivet got a transfer from Oregon, you'd think he landed from the moon. That's just how rare it was. But we held them pretty good, solid defensively. I remember the 2018 MIAA championship game. I try to remember
that was at Olivet, wasn't it?
Yeah, we won 106-94.
And I think that was when Beckman had 22 free throws or something crazy.
Warman mid-range skips off. Hovey trying to work. The name of that leading scorer for Olivet is on the tip of my tongue. 20 points a game, capable, and he had a good game, but that was the upset at Olivet. I'll never forget sitting with head coach Tom Davillard. I've never seen him so excited post-game.
Yeah, I remember that game because they just kept fouling. Olivet kept fouling Beckman on the way to the basket. He ended up 19 of 22 from the free throw line.
You don't foul the nation's leading three-point shot. I think he was second in the nation.
50, 40, 90 that season.
That was amazing. Playing professional
basketball
in France.
Yeah.
from a 5'10" guard. The most amazingly in shape player I've ever seen.
Jason retired 2 years ago, and when he was turned 28, finished up, hung it up, and then now he's been training basketball players full-time in Philadelphia.
Is that right?
Pittsburgh, sorry.
Great family, great story. His brother Danny.
And of course, his brother DJ was an Alma College MIAA champion.
Playing with Jason before he transferred to Hope. They were a dangerous combo with Scott Nicodemski, the point guard. They made it to the
that was a fun Alma team.
Sam Hargraves, who's now the coach at Olivet. I love Sam Hargraves. Hope in control, 13:28 left, 56-29. Matt Wayner with your moment from Hope's Blast in the Past, brought to you by.
I told you my life goal is to write the second half of Tom Renner's anthology. The second 80 years of Hope College basketball.
You wouldn't be able to pick up that book. Tom Renner, the longtime AD here before Alan Babbitt, sports information director, excuse me, and just the finest country gentleman you will ever meet.
If you haven't had, he wrote first 80 years of Hope College basketball, men's and women's.
He gave me a copy of that.
Yeah, it was one at checkout from the Herrick District Library, able to kind of read through that over the span of a couple of months and learn a lot about the history of Hope basketball. I highly recommend that one if you're a fan.
I was honored that Tom put Casey Rutledge and myself in that briefly.
That was probably young, long hair, hockey flow,
for
Casey.
both of us. I mean, but yeah, Casey Rutledge with the Fabio hair, and now mine is chopped down like I'm in solitary.
Oh yeah, you had the long hair then, yeah.
Yep, emphasis on did. I kept a couple locks. I got it somewhere. Foul. B.J. Hunter is trying to single-handedly get his team back in here. Check that. That is not Hunter. That is Hooser. Malachi Hooser, the second out of Grand Rapids Christian. Kyle Block checks in. Gabe Quillen checks out with 8 points, 9 rebounds. Eli Schoonveld in for Charlie Howell. How about Charlie Howell? 8 points, 4 for 4 shooting, couple of rebounds, a steal, a block in 12 minutes.
Love his game, and somebody that's started a handful of games here for Hope.
Well, Hope's going to lose 5 players next year. Barden, hamstrung by Newhouse.
Right, really the big ones now being Decker and Quillen, who they'll miss next year. So we'll see who's coming in, if there's any transfers as well as any incoming freshmen that are going to play a little bit more. But I expect to see, well, of course, they also didn't, because of last year they honored Eli Schoonveld. Schoonveld in his 5th year this year, so they will lose him as well.
Correct.
Out of that starting lineup, 19 minutes a game here for Hope. So next year there will be minutes to take. We'll see who that ends up being. Probably Mims and Werman there in that starting lineup.
Mims.
Maybe Newhouse finds his way in there.
Hubby,
or Howell.
for sure, yeah.
Hubby. We'll see.
Brady Miller could factor in. I could see Brady or Justice coming off the bench. We haven't seen Brady Miller, the freshman. Newhouse, nifty move.
Yeah, and probably Newhouse would be off the bench as well if they have both Mims and they have Mims, Werman, as we're under 12 here, that timeout. Why don't we take a breather and then we'll come back, Mike. 62-29, that's the Hope College lead on the Hope Sports Network.
Yeah, my name is Travis Williams. I'm the CEO of the ODC Network. I graduated from Hope in 1998. I studied biology, and then I also played football. In order to be successful, people really need more than just the academic experience, but they need people to come alongside them and help them, coach them, mentor them. I find that Hope College has just been one of the best examples of being able to do that anywhere.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to help share Hope stories of transformational impact.
Back here at DeVos Fieldhouse, 62-29. That's the Hope College lead. And here so far, it's been a slew of a bunch of different Hope College players. Been filling up that lineup, Mike. I mean, as we look, how about Zach Hawes with 14 points as he's had his best game of his whole career here on DeVos Fieldhouse. Or here at DeVos Fieldhouse, Decker adds 12, Quillen adds 10. Quillen now on the bench with Block in there. I imagine there'll be a lot of subs in here the rest of the game as Hope College with that 33-point lead. So we'll see a few new players in there as well. See maybe Jared Rigg in a few minutes, or a couple other Hope players that might get some more minutes.
And I like how Hope came out strong to the start of the first 5 minutes of the second half, and doubled up Albion. Now they've outscored them 19-7 in this second half. By the way, at the break, the player for Olivet, I was thinking of Jalen Adams.
Oh, yeah.
I believe he was a transfer as well out of Saginaw Arthur Hill, and he was their big scorer in that 106-94 victory by Hope in the 2018 MIAA
That's a throwback.
championship game.
I remember that team.
You bet.
And it's Brady Miller getting his first minutes of the game here for Hope as well, Mike. And
oh, good.
Somebody early on, you know, with Werman being on the bench with a high ankle injury, he played a lot, had 24 in one game, and somebody that, you know, I imagine he's going to play a lot more next year, but really impressive offensive skill set. Just needs to get in the weight room, get a little bit stronger, and I think he'll be a lot more competitive next year.
I think you see a lot of transformation when you have players freshman and sophomore season. We saw that with Gabe Quillen especially. He came in kind of a doughy 6'9" freshman, and then his second season he started to compound in numbers.
And he was a starter immediately.
And he was a starter. That's why he's second all-time in rebounds, fourth all-time in offensive rebounds, 29th overall scoring, leaving a great legacy. A quiet giant for this Hope College.
Where you go back 5 years, that's what I thought of Preston Granger, was kind of forced into playing a lot as a freshman.
Good point.
And remember, he was somebody that really developed sophomore, junior, senior year. He was just a little bit, you know, he was trying to find his feet underneath him a little bit.
He was like a wild
year.
Mustang. He was. But turned into a great contributor. One of the most athletic players I've ever seen in a Hope College uniform. Mims in traffic, yes! Somersault roll in front of the cheerleaders. By the way, I want to give a shout out, if I can find it. We'll keep going, but I'll keep looking for it. It's in my other notes. It's on my other stack. Barden, give over to Brody. Hope has completely broken down this Albion team as the three-point skims off. It has not been Albion's day. The three ball, just 1 of 8 for them, shooting 33% overall. Hope still kicking on the Jets, Matt, 57%, 9 of 19 from 3.
And here's Wagger coming back in the ball game. Hope fans will love to see that as he's getting some applause here. And makes his way back in.
I think this is the last go-around for the seniors together. You got Gabe, Zach, Josh, Eli, and Ben. And a classy move by Greg Mitchell to put the seniors on the floor with 10:26 to play. And all those players have contributed mightily today. Kick out. Hooser. Three-point has just not been the friend of Albion today. How about Decker with 3 assists to go along with his 4 of 6 shooting from deep?
Yeah, he's been good. And Decker, you know, that's what we were saying. When he's able to get going on offense, I feel like it opens up every other part of this game. He just gets more confident, gets more engaged in everything. And it's here, Wagger. Yeah!
3 ball, count it. Ben Wagger, 3 for 3 from deep. As a southpaw delivers right in front of his bench as the towels wave here on Whiteout Saturday.
It's got to feel like for him, anything he puts up is going to go down today.
Boy, when he's streaking too, he can fire it with the best of them. Curtis Rhodes in traffic. Good move by Rhodes. Haven't seen a lot of him, Matt, and I'm not sure why. I'm just not sure, as Rhodes in this game has only played 13 minutes, but he's got a chance to go to the line for the 3-point play. Brady Miller checks in. Ben Wagger checks out, and that might be the day for Ben Wagger. Eli Schoonveld, last regular season game in a Hope College uniform as he gets hugs from Greg Mitchell, and a good moment between Ben and Greg as he pushes him. That's amazing.
That's really cool for Ben, and share that moment with his coaches. Pretty special for him.
And vindication with all the injuries and illnesses that Ben has had. Incredible. Just incredible in front of I would say, the biggest crowd of the year on senior day.
A lot of Hope College alumni shell out here for this one, Mike.
Oh yeah, we got a few over to the left. Clayton Dykehouse leading the group over there. He's got some of his friends. The 2-time All-MIAA point guard for Hope. Finished out his career last year. That one dribbles off. Tough break for Hooser. Haas dances around the backcourt. Decker from 30 feet. Oh my goodness.
Decker,
oh my.
Haas was probing around and Decker just had his hands up like, I'm shooting this regardless.
I've got one player's text, and that's Josh Decker, because we work baseball games. I'm texting him after the game. What did you eat for breakfast? And how much did you eat? Josh Decker, 5 of 7 from 3 today. 15 points is the most he's scored since 17 in Game 2 of the season. He had 20 points and 17 points respectively in the first 2 games of the year. Zach Haas with a career high. Free throw is good by Brody. Haas with 14. Decker out. Zach Haas out. And Josh Decker gets a big hug from Greg Mitchell. Between Haas and Decker, they have combined for 7 3-pointers. Wonderful.
Really cool moment for them to share over there on the sidelines. And there's a couple of guys here checking in for Hope. Seen him a little bit this year. That's sophomore Brett Boltzma from Dorr, Michigan, Wayland High School. And he's played a little bit. That's kind of the future of Hope there. Boltzma, the guard.
Yep, Sam Carlson, the senior out of Superior, Colorado. And I wouldn't be surprised. Sam Carlson can slam it with the best of it, too. Gabe Quillen, his day is done. 10 points, 9 rebounds, couple of assists as he works his way down his coaches and teammates. What a career for Gabe Quillen. Meant so much for his development. Part of 3 straight MIAA tournaments and 3 straight national tournament appearances for the senior out of Ada, Michigan. He won a state title with Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Kyle Block, the turnaround and good. How comfortable is he in the lane, Matt Wayner?
There you go. He keeps getting better, and he's somebody I'm really curious to see his sophomore transformation. He's big and he's strong. I think he's just going to...
They're going to chisel him down.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, they're going to really
probably make him more mobile as well. I mean, just get a little bit faster and athletic. But, I mean, he's got good touch around the rim, and that's hard to teach.
And quick moves, too. Good footwork.
BJ Hunter comes back in here.
Yes, thank you. BJ Hunter wearing that big knee brace on his right leg. Hunter with 9 points. He's leading his ball club. Nobody in double figures. Lucchesi misses it short. Offensive rebound by Barden. Put back, no. Foul on Block as Barden will go to the line. And he's been neutralized today, Matt, averaging almost 10 points a game, and he just really didn't factor in offensively for Albion.
Right, it was just tough for him to get going. I feel like especially Hope's bigs were doing a good job, if that was Schoonveld or Howell on him for most of the game.
And a lot of good help offside help defense, too.
Yeah, Quillen as well. I mean, just kind of keeping him off the block. If he's too deep, he's just too strong. He's going to go up and get a basket. But they did a good job beating him up the court. And for those of you that are just joining us, like we've said here in this broadcast, is Hope's wrapping things up here. Even with 8 to play, with a pretty comfortable lead, looks like Hope will lock up that 3 seed. So the MIAA will look as follows. Number 1 seed Calvin, the host site. Number 2 seed Trine. Number 3 Hope. And then the 4-5 matchup will be Olivet 4.
Olivet will be 4, yep.
So they will host on Wednesday night against Adrian, and the 6th seed Albion most likely there.
Well, if
I suppose it's possible if Adrian loses.
Yes, if Adrian loses to Kalamazoo today, Albion would win the tiebreaker against Adrian, and Albion would be the number 5 seed. So what we do know is Calvin will play the winner between Olivet and who Olivet plays. Check the MIAA website. It's hard to explain. It's easier to look on paper. I'll send a picture out to everyone. I'll hold it up to the camera. Maybe we can get a camera from the end zone.
If you're a Hope fan, all you really need to know is they will be hosting Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Mike and I will be on that call. If you don't make it out to DeVos Fieldhouse, Albion fan, you will either be at Hope College on Wednesday night or at Olivet for that matchup.
Well, we got 7:40 left. The women take center stage, and the 5 o'clock tip is the doubleheader. Actually, it's actually been a triple header today. Albion JV team came back after being down 13 in the second half, and Hope JV held them off for a victory. And then the men trying to take care of business. And the women, they're the number 2 seed. They've got a first-round bye. Their next game will be on Friday in Trine. And let's see who they will play. I've got it right here in my stack of sheets, Matthew.
And we've got a few Hope notes here. Thanks to Sports Information Director Alan Babbitt giving us some information here. Last time Hope College held Albion under 40 points, 1943. And there's 7 minutes to play, so probably not going to happen here today, but barring a lot of defensive stops.
Might be one of the biggest blowouts between these two teams playing in their 206th game against each other.
The largest margin of victory versus Albion, 42 points, 110-68 at the Holland Civic Center. That was in 1960.
Wow.
So we might have a 42-point victory. Anything above that would break that record. And the record for most three-pointers by Hope, 16 versus Washington University in 2017, an NCAA tournament victory, as well as versus Kalamazoo in 2018.
So and they've got 11 today. Thank you, Matt.
Well, really, let's thank Alan Babbitt. Fantastic work he does. Could not do it without him or Mackenzie McMahon, the best in the business, as you like to say.
That is a fact. That's a good one, too. They're the Dante Hawkins and Jason Beckman of the Sports Information Director world, I'll tell you that.
Thank you so much. All the fans are able to join us throughout the season. Mike and I have had a lot of laughs. We'll have our next game and then our last one there next Wednesday. Until then, I'm not going to talk to you for another 8 months. I'm sure we'll talk.
Not even during baseball season?
I'm sure I'll see you out and grab a root beer or something.
There we go. Sounds good to me. 72-38, Hope College. It's been a wild year for Hope. They lost 4 straight in the non-conference part of the season. They lost 4 straight in the MIAA portion of the season, but they somehow cobbled together the number 3 seed, what they were scheduled to finish in the preseason poll. Boltzmann zips it over to Miller. Other than Sam Carlson, the future of Hope College basketball in the court right now. 6 to shoot. Block. Trying to lean in, using the muscle up and over Barton. Boy, that is one strong freshman. Block with 4.
You can see that. That was somebody I know in preseason. I had a chance to sit down with Coach Mitchell, and he was somebody he was excited about. He's like, you know, I like Block. He said he's a freshman from Colorado. He said, I know you haven't seen him play yet. And he's like, I think he's got a lot of potential to be a really good big in this conference with how physical and how strong he is. And Coach Mitchell was right. So you always like to see who the coaches like to lean on that they're most excited to see develop. And I think coming into sophomore season next year, we're going to see a Kyle Block that's going to play a lot.
And, you know, to your point, we've had a lot of 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" guys. When's the last time you've seen a player the size of Block at 6'7" that has a big body, that can really impose his will down low? I'm trying to think offhand, and I can't think of anybody really.
Especially with, I mean, he's big, but he's pretty athletic for as big as he is.
That's what
like
I mean.
You said, maybe they'll chisel him down, do a little bit of what Gabe Quillen did. But regardless, I mean, he's really pretty effective.
He's a solid post-up player who really can't be budged around, which is nice. 40 points now for Albion. Question is, barring an amazing comeback, what the score will be. It's been a good rivalry under Greg Mitchell and Jody May. Hope has gone 15-9 all time. Inside the block. Nice move. Went up and shifted gears with the left side. Lays it in. He's got a half dozen.
And let's give a shout out a couple of the subs that come in here as Barton gets that 3 to go.
First 3 ball since the first 5 minutes of the ball game for Albion.
Wow.
What do you got, Matt?
Neil I'm in the ball game here, the sophomore from Maple City. Sorry.
Maple City, Glen Lake.
You got to show me.
I saw the Laker game on Tuesday.
Did you?
I saw his alma mater. I looked at his graduation picture. Neil Imey. That's right.
You know your Michigan trivia way better than I do. And that's Carson Sanders, his first minute from Clark Lake, Michigan. Can you show me where Clark Lake is?
It's kind of by Albion, actually. 3 ball on the way, and Dwayne Ray with a nice 3 ball.
South Central?
More towards South Central, towards east, towards Ann Arbor. Thank goodness folks can't reach us. You got to give us a 30-mile radius of air. Carson, top side. Sanders misses. He'll be back next year. Ray, trailing. 3 ball, skips up. Nate Childers, he's out of Benzie Central. That's about 20 miles south of Maple City, Glen Lake. So I worked there in the summertime, so we know all about Mr. Childers.
Yeah, and I'm curious if everybody who's listening to our broadcast, if they like, you always got to take me through all these cities here. In Michigan, I get lost. I have no idea. I don't know the difference between Novi and Cadillac.
I think my favorite one you thought Ionia was Livonia, which, I mean, they have a lot of similar vowels and consonants. 4:20 left remaining. Ethan Crabtree, who's battled knee injuries, the junior out of Coldwater High School, over to Sanders. I wonder if they played against each other, if they were close enough. Barden going for the steal. That'll stay with Hope. Hope still shooting 54.5%, and you look at the numbers. They were dead in the water, Matt. Let's face it, they had lost 4 straight. They were shooting abysmally. Then all of a sudden they rip off 4 straight games where they shoot over 50%, and that was due in part when they put Charlie Howell in the starting lineup and came in off the bench with Justice Mims. Something clicked for this team.
I agree, and especially they're heading into that Calvin game. I felt really confident that was one. The second time around that they could win. Nonetheless, I mean, Calvin was just too much for them. But after you and I called that game where they were able to beat Trine by 17, I was like, I think they found something. And they have. I mean, barring except for that loss to Olivet, I mean, they've started to click on all cylinders now.
That's a kind of a Greg Mitchell team like we talked about. They'll have a little bit of a struggle in the MIAA in the last month of the season. They just kind of turn it on and they play their best basketball.
They're going to have to take care of business on Wednesday so they can find themselves in that matchup against Trine to see if they can make things interesting.
Yeah, they're Hope's either going to play Albion or Adrian in the first round. We don't know. That'll be here on Wednesday.
Right. Sorry.
Before we get that far, Trine has the bye. By the way, Calvin leading Trine 59-42 with 7.5 left at Van Ord Arena at Calvin University.
On that block, there's that Ume athleticism you and I have talked about. Huge block on Boltzma.
Hooser trying to feed down low, tipped away by Sanders. Good hands by Boltzma, excuse me, the junior out of Wayland, the sophomore out of Wayland High School, Durham, Michigan product. Sanders going for the steal, 5 to shoot. Ume, Carlson with a influence swat on that one, and Albion comes away empty. Brady Miller, Forest Hill Central freshman, over to Carlson. 2:40 left. Sanders, 3-ball wide. Love to see him knock one down. Hope bench wants it. Wheeling and dealing in the paint. Hunter scores and one. Check that. That is a Flanagan. Detroit Edison High School. He won a state title with Detroit Edison. So a timeout on the court. We're going to have substitutions coming in. It looks like Neil Imey with the foul. 2:31 left. Let's take a quick break. Hope leads 76-50 on the Hope Sports Network.
Holland BPW is proud to support Hope Athletics and commitment to energy efficiency. It's easy for Holland BPW electric customers to get started with Home Energy 101 at hollandenergyfund.com. With Home Energy 101, learn the best ways to maximize efficiency and save on your utility bills. You also get a kit of energy-saving supplies valued at up to $300. Get started at hollandenergyfund.com today.
Back here at DeVos Fieldhouse, 76-50, Hope College leads, 2:31 to play as they wrap up their regular season. That will put Hope at 14-11 on the year, and that's 9-5 in conference. So able to turn things around after a little bit of a slow start.
They were 3-4 in conference at one point, so talk about a turnaround.
Well, after that, I mean, I didn't know what to expect. When it was 4-0 start, them, Trine, and Calvin all 4-0 to begin, and then they started to kind of beat each other up a little bit. And I kind of thought those three were really going to pull themselves away from the pack, but it really was the top two that pulled themselves away, and Hope just kind of trailing behind at third.
Then Olivet, favored to finish 7th in conference, surprised everybody with scrappy play, and they had a great second half under Sam Hargraves. Good talent.
It surprised everybody but me. It wasn't Porter Miller, it's Porter Kretschmann.
Porter Kretschmann, yeah, Kretschmann.
I got to call a couple of their games in that early, that Glenn Van Weeren tournament I think they were in.
Yes, you did.
Here, and got to watch them play. I was just like, man, they're young, but they can score. I mean, Skipper 6'10", 250, and he
local
demands
kid from
it.
here, yeah.
From Zealand. And I just felt like that team was going to be able to find something down the stretch.
When you play such a tough non-conference schedule, too, it really hardens you.
Wow, what a pass.
Play. Crabtree to Miller for the reverse layup.
Miller, that was fancy.
I said Hope had 4 straight games over 50% in that winning streak that was broken on Wednesday. It was 3 out of 4, but the one game was 48%. So is that close enough, Matt Wayner?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good enough for us.
Willens stuck in the paint. He's got to get out. 8 to shoot. Hooser. Nice move up and over. He went up over Neil Imee. Miller shaking and baking, going up the finger roll. Saw a lot of that in the first part of the season. And Miller down with the second basket of the day. Boy, the balance has been so solid for Hope. 12 have scored for Hope in this one.
Coach May just takes time out to get a couple of substitutes. And it looks like he's getting number 33, Ethan Woolery, the sophomore, as well as number 35, Anthony Hutter, freshman from Milford.
6'9" freshman. Interesting.
Doesn't look 6'9" out there on the court.
No. Beck Willens for 3.
It's possible that could be a different.
Yeah, we might have the roster doesn't match the player for sure.
Whoa! It was almost a nasty finish there for Crabtree.
He's got the ups to do it.
Now we see the Hope women, the Albion women, getting ready over there on the south end of the court.
We'll probably have about a 30-minute gap, 25-minute gap between the finish of this. They'll have an announcement of Senior Day. 4 senior women are graduating for the Hope women's team. And then we'll be back probably 20 minutes after that or so to call the women's game. Matt Wayner will be on the call for that.
And of course, a little different MIAA mix for the women's team, as pretty much that whole tournament is all but set for those top 6 seeds. So not a lot at play there for that game. But you'll want to see, especially at the beginning, there will be a ceremony honoring those seniors, so you won't want to miss that. You'll just have to switch over to the other broadcast on the Hope YouTube channel, and we'll be with you there for that 5 p.m. start.
Yes, sir. So we wind down the regular season finale, really around the country before tournament play. Backdoor cut pass as Imee tried to feed Carlson. Good play. Foul down low. Well, another great day shooting for Hope right now, 54%. That would be in the top 5 this year for them. They shot 57% in a win over Alma back here on the 11th. Boltzmann trying to get some clearance. Scoop shot no good. Carson Sanders trying to keep it alive. Inside 30 seconds left. Hope's going to win their 14th of the season, and Albion will drop to 10-15 heading into tournament play. The Sanders corrals. Hope doesn't have to fire it up. Well, Hope College has locked down the number 3 seed in the tournament. Albion's in the tournament. They don't know if they're number 5 or 6 seed, so we will find out if Adrian wins tonight. Albion will fit into the number 6 slot and face Hope on Wednesday as players and coaches shake hands, Matt Wayner. And boy, I tell you, that fast start was all Hope needed. Solid first 3 minutes, and they never looked back in this 81-56 victory.
It's not what I had on my bingo card. It's Josh Decker leading scores with 15, Hawes with 14. I mean, Quillen added 10, but Werman and Hovey were pretty much absent from a point standpoint, but they were able to impact the game in a bunch of other ways. But it didn't seem to matter because that hot start started Hope off so well in a game that they were able to demand and just never got away from them. They led the whole time.
Great effort by the Flying Dutchman. They hold Albion to 37% shooting, and Albion had 3 3-pointers in the last 5 minutes, but they finished 4 of 15 deep. They are led by B.J. Hunter off the bench with 11 points and 8 points by Marco Lucchesi. He had a lot of his points early on in this game when it was meaningful. For Hope College, like you said, Decker with 15 to lead the squad. Gabe Quillen had 9 rebounds, 4 steals by Marcus Warman. And Hope 53% shooting on this day, and 11 of 26 for 42% for the Flying Dutch, and one of their better efforts from deep in this victory today. So a lot of good things as we get set up for Wednesday's play.
That's right. So we will get that information, and if we find it here in between games to see as we see how things finish up in that Adrian game as well, we'll score watch that during the second game. We will not switch the live stream. That's what Alan Babbitt was coming over to say. So you can stay right here. Why don't you go grab your popcorn, get your takeout on the couch, and get here ready for senior day for Hope versus Alma women's basketball here in about 30 minutes.
Sounds good. For Matt Wainer, I'm Mike Coleman, wishing you the best as round 2 coming up in our broadcast doubleheader. As we've got an entertainment right here, we'll step aside and listen to Darren greet our seniors on this Saturday.
And the women's basketball program. During their careers, they have won 3 league championships and a national championship. Hope has a record of 95-7, and all have traveled with the athletic department on mission trips to serve communities in Africa, the Dominican Republic, and Costa Rica. We would like to thank the following seniors: Olivia Bellows, Brooklyn Rollback, Courtney Lee, and Jada Garner, as well as their families, for their commitment to Hope College. Let's meet your Hope College seniors. First, Olivia Bellows. Olivia is from Lake City, Michigan. She's an education major, and she is the daughter of Todd and Chick Bellows. Olivia has been an all-league player, and her growth both on and off the court for the past 4 years has been fantastic to witness for coaches and fans. Olivia has been instrumental to the success of Hope women's basketball during her career. Belly's competitive spirit and quick first step is an absolute joy to watch. She is going to be an outstanding teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Olivia Bellows. Next up, Brooklyn Roback. Brooklyn is joined by her parents, Paul and Jenny Roback, from Clarkston, Michigan. Brooklyn is a business major. Brooklyn has been an outstanding team player. Her leadership on and off the court has been instrumental to the team's success. Brooklyn has been a joy to coach, and her competitive spirit and ability to mentor younger players is reminiscent of other great leaders before her. Coach Mo is confident she is going to thrive in the business world and will be president of any company someday. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Brooklyn Roback. Next, Courtney Lee. Courtney Lee hails from Fishers, Indiana, and is joined by her parents, Mike and Chris Lee. An exercise science major, she is off to The Ohio State University to become a doctor of physical therapy. Courtney has improved constantly since arriving on Hope's campus and has been in leadership roles within the exercise science academic program, campus ministries, as well as basketball. Her leadership and work ethic will make her an outstanding physical therapist. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Courtney Lee. And finally, Jada Garner. Jada Garner is from Midland, Michigan, and she is an exercise science major. She is joined by her parents, Louis and Jody Garner. She was admitted to the Grand Valley State Physical Therapy Program in early admittance as a junior and will be a doctor of physical therapy. Jada has grown in every way during her 4 years as she has played the critical position of point guard while also showcasing the leadership that it entails. An All-American last season, she has followed that up with another great season this year. Her defense and playmaking has been essential to the team's success during her career. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jada Garner. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, a round of applause for your Hope College Flying Dutch seniors, Olivia Bellows, Brooklyn Roback, Courtney Lee, and Jada Garner.
We'll be right back.